Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and this is my review of Short Circuit 2, which in my opinion is way better than the first one, yeah. I mean, the first one, yeah, it's good origin, explains how everything got to be the way it was, but, I don't know, just the second one, better story, better character development, and just funnier jokes, just everything, just better than what we got in the first one, yeah. But the general public would disagree with me. No, the first one was a blockbuster, yeah, but the second one, no, nothing like as successful. And then a few years later just went off into obscurity, which I think is a big shame. I thought the second one was way better than the first one, yeah. And I remember at school when I saw Short Circuit 2 on TV, all the kids in my classes all talking about this second one. A lot more talking about it than talked about the first one, yeah, so... Okay, well, each to their own, I suppose, yeah. In my opinion, the second one, much better. And it left me feeling, good at the end. I was quite satisfied, yeah. There was no emptiness, no feeling that something was missing. No, everything is included in this one. And also, Short Circuit 2, it didn't make the mistake a lot of sequels make. It wasn't too similar to the first one. No, this was very different, yeah. We see the story from a different angle now, yeah. And I suppose, well, I must say, Ali Sheedy and Steve Guttenberg were not in this one. Is it because they didn't like the script or they weren't paid enough money? Well, I don't know myself. I think it was a bit of both, actually, yeah. But when I was a kid, that didn't bother me that they weren't in it. So long as the robot's in it. Yes, the robot is the star. That's what it's all about. Really impressive animatronic robot, yeah. And it took about 12 puppeteers to control Johnny Five. All these different remote control puppeteers. But also, in the first film, Short Circuit, he's just called Number 5 throughout the film. It's not until the very end that he wants to be called Number Johnny 5. Number Johnny 5 is a much better name than just Number 5, yes. So yes, throughout this one, he's called Number Johnny 5. And whenever people think Short Circuit, they don't think Number 5, they think Number Johnny 5. Yeah, so it makes more sense that he's called that throughout the second film. And yes, the word short circuit, I found out in the broader sense it means a machine that malfunctions, yes. A somewhat misleading title, really, because it's not a malfunction, he is alive. There is a difference, yeah. In Short Circuit 2, we're in a big city. Ben, the scientist from the first one, who only really featured in that one, but in the second one, he's like the star, he's the main human star. He's been fired from Nova, and now he's a street salesman selling toy robots on the street. Robots he made himself, because that's what he's good at, robotics. So instead of making real robots, he makes toy ones. Wait a minute, why was he fired from Nova? He didn't do anything wrong, he didn't break any of the rules. Why was he fired from Nova? Well, that's not clearly explained, yeah. But in a way, it's good because it makes the story different. In this one, the premise is making toy robots. Make as many as you can to meet a deadline. Because his love interest is a lady called Sandy, and she works for a toy making company. Because you've got to get these made on time, otherwise I might lose my job. So yes, a big deadline, got to get a move on. And yes, Ben falls in love with Sandy. The romance scene's a bit cheesy and silly, but more believable than the love match at the end of the first film. So yes, it was better done this time. And we have a new character called Fred, who's like Ben's partner, the salesman, He starts off as a pure mercenary, only interested in making money, regardless of who he betrays. But his character really comes through. He gets better. When he knows and understands that Johnny Five is really alive, then yes, he does all he can to help him, to fix him, when he gets badly damaged by the bank robbers, Yeah, so yeah, his character really comes through. And Johnny Five, yes, there is a lot of slapstick, silly antics and stuff, but also some quite emotional bits as well. Because at first, Johnny Five doesn't realise he's being annoying, and he knocks things over and reads books really fast and makes a mess in the bookstore. Silly, really, because if they made this film nowadays, he wouldn't need to go to a bookstore. He'd get all the information he get by reading on the internet. Yes, he just needs to do that, yeah. Anyway, when he knows and understands that he's being annoying, he feels guilty about it. And he tries really hard to blend in, but all to no avail. He won't be accepted as an equal, nobody likes him, And there's one scene where he sees one of those mirrors, those strange mirrors that you see things from a different angle. I guess artists use them so you can see the world in a different way. And he looks at his face in that mirror and thinks, Why can't the world see me in a different way? You know, why can't they accept me as an equal? So yes, it can get a bit emotional in parts as well. And when he says to his friend Ben, it's not fair, why don't they accept me as one of their own, you know? And Ben says, well, even if you were human, you might find it difficult to blend in. I'm human and I have difficulty fitting in. Yes, so even if you're human, that doesn't guarantee everyone's just going to like you just like that. No. Getting people to like you, it takes a lot of time and effort to learn the great people skills that you need, yeah. So in other words, we've all been there. Everyone's been lonely at one point, yeah. So yes, you really feel for him, yeah. Johnny Five, he really wants to blend in, yeah. And these robbers that steal car stereos trick him into stealing things for him. And then, the ultimate insult, who he thinks is his friend Oscar, he's head of a bank. He's head of the bank robbers, you know. So yes, he feels really bad that they fooled him as well, you know. And Fred says to him, well, Oscar fooled me as well, so don't feel bad. Me, the big con man, and he fooled me, yeah. And then when he was getting smashed up with axes by the bank robbers, part of me thought when I first saw the film, he might die. He could die because there's no sequel. Yeah, he might die, yes. Well, come on, this is Johnny Five. He can do anything, you know. But no, you generally do feel sorry for him when he's being really badly bashed up, because if something is alive, that means it can die. So yes, he can die. It's really sad. And Fred manages to fix him as best he can. Then he goes after the bank robbers, well, because he wants revenge. You know, a life form's got to do what a life form's got to do. He eventually catches up to the robbers, and I really love this one-liner. When a bank robber wants to hit him with a crowbar, but he knows he's coming, grabs it behind him and says, "You rang?" and then throws him in the air like that. I just love that. He's saying, I'm not scared, not in the least. He goes, oh, like I'm really scared. You know, he's back on top. Yes, he's got revenge. Yeah, it's really good. And then in an epic climactic bit, when he swings on that crane thing, he manages to get the chief robber. Yeah. And then much later, he metaphorically dies again. But eventually, yes, Ben manages to fix him. Not only does he fix him, he gives him a tune-up, makes him much better, and he's given that gold-plated thing, and he's accepted as an equal, yes. Because what does it take to get accepted as an equal? Well, do something amazing and heroic, which he does, stops the bank robbers, and he's a hero, he's treated as an equal, and that's what he wanted, yeah. And yes, Johnny Five was a big influence on the design for the Wally robot. Yes, I thought I'd better point that. So yes, I was quite satisfied at the end, and I don't think they did any sequels, but then would they need to? You know, where can you go from here? Johnny Five got what he wanted, he's treated as an equal, yeah. And when he's gold-plated at the end, ironic really, because the director of the first Short Circuit film, he said, this robot, I don't want it to resemble R2-D2 or C-3PO, not in any shape or form. And he looks a little like C-3PO, because it's only for one small scene, but yes, he's gold-plated at the end. Because it's a solemn occasion. He's been accepted as a citizen of the United States, yeah. Anyway, Short Circuit 2 is just funnier jokes, great gags, and a much more moving story. Yeah, you really feel for the character Johnny Five, and you're rooting for him right from the start. Oh, and I like the opening sequence bit where we see a cool toy Johnny Five do lots of cool, great stuff, you know, and you think, wow, if a toy can do that, just imagine what the real thing can do. Okay, Short Circuit 2, in my opinion, much better than the first one. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.